Recently, I've had a lot of questions about using heaters in a tent, specifically gas heaters, and even more specifically, the carbon monoxide that comes off of these heaters while they're in use. Too much carbon monoxide can be deadly. Since you're burning something inside a tent and burning things emits carbon monoxide, it seems like these heaters are a no-go, but they are a thing. Mr. Heater is one of the very few brands that actually makes these gas heaters that are rated for indoor use. And in fact, many other brands make heaters that are that are very similar, but they are rated for some reason for outdoor use only. What's the difference? Why is Mr. Heater so special? Are they just extra safe? Do they not emit carbon monoxide? So as part of my research, I contacted Mr. Heater on Facebook directly. I asked them how the heaters worked and if it was possible for them to emit carbon monoxide. This rep said, no, they don't. I thought this was strange, especially since in Mr. Heater's owner's manual for the portable buddy, it clearly states that there is a carbon monoxide hazard. So I asked for clarification if perhaps there was some sort of malfunction or bad situation that maybe in those cases it would emit carbon monoxide. Mr. Heater said, it's not possible. I didn't believe them. I bought an industrial 4-way gas detector that has the capability of detecting oxygen, carbon monoxide, hydrogen sulfide, as well as flammable gases. I put 7 gas heaters through a battery of safety tests. If you want to see more detail about this safety test and whether heaters in a tent is even a good idea in the first place, you should check out this video. It has a lot of great information. I'll link to it in the description. I tested whether these gas heaters emitted gas during lighting and during use. And sure enough, these heaters emitted carbon monoxide during lighting, and most emitted some carbon monoxide during use. But what about the Mr. Heater brand? Are they really a cut above? This is the Little Buddy, one of Mr. Heater's small propane heaters meant for indoor spaces. I lit the Little Buddy and did a gas reading to see how much carbon monoxide came off. So yeah, turns out that the Little Buddy absolutely emits carbon monoxide. So let's give Mr. Heater the benefit of the doubt though, because that was during lighting, but what about during normal use? Well, I did a test to find out the answer. But before I show you what I found from that test, if you think this is valuable information, make sure and give this video a like. I'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure this video gets to more eyes and hopefully keep more people safe. The CO above this unit is like 15 parts per million, which is higher than any of the other heaters actually during normal use. This has been running for 15 minutes, so it's not because it's just lighting up or anything like that. So the long and short of it is, Mr. Heater's safety documentation that comes with these heaters explicitly states that there is a carbon monoxide hazard with these heaters. So don't believe anyone who says otherwise. These heaters absolutely emit carbon monoxide. So are these numbers dangerous? The number differs, but it ranges from 25 parts per million to 50 parts per million is considered dangerous when exposed for 8 hours. So being exposed to 37 parts per million for, 30 seconds isn't actually dangerous. So did Mr. Heater really lie to me? Well, technically yes, but if I was to be a little bit generous, maybe I could rephrase what they were saying to be a bit more correct. Yes, these heaters do emit carbon monoxide, but they don't emit dangerous levels of carbon monoxide if you are in the right conditions, if the unit is functioning properly, as well as if there's proper ventilation. However, there is still a real carbon monoxide danger when you're using these heaters in a small space. For example, sometimes we get lazy and don't set up our tents completely. Worst comes to worst, something falls and blocks our air vent. I actually tested this scenario, and I tried heaters in a small tent with the vent partially blocked and the tarp loose instead of stretched tight with the guy lines. And this isn't that unrealistic. Like, you are tired, you don't want to set up the tent, and you just want to have some protection in case it rains. With this situation, I found that absolutely carbon monoxide will build up in a small tent if you don't have enough ventilation. I even tried the Little Buddy in a car, and I found similar results. I cracked all the windows about an inch, including the sunroof, and turned on the Little Buddy for about 15 minutes. But even with the windows cracked an inch, I actually saw the carbon monoxide levels building in the vehicle. After that, I cracked the window 3 inches, and sure enough, the carbon monoxide levels stopped building. Having enough ventilation is important, and things can change. Some wind might knock a branch and cover up your vent, or it might snow. Things can happen that can affect your ventilation. And if that happens and you are using the heater while you're asleep or otherwise not attending the heater, really bad things can happen. This is why in the documentation for Mr. Heater, it says never to use this while you're sleeping or never to use this while it's not attended. If you want to see more information about these test results, you can Google Decide Outside Tent Heater Tests, and you can see tables of all the information that I found, the safety tests, the temperature tests, as well as how efficient these different gas heaters burned. Thanks for watching.